When a baby is born, the first question many people ask is it a girl or a boy? Well, actually, it's a baby. A box is ticked and a label is attached. It might seem from then on that everything is mapped out. Society tells us that boys are supposed to be, and girls are supposed to. But it is not always this simple. Lots of people can feel trapped by these ideas and challenge the stereotypes by breaking out of the boxes they were put into. So, is sex the same as gender? Sex is about biology. A person is given a label of male or female based on their body parts, hormones and biology. Gender identity describes how you think of yourself. It's how we feel inside and how you want to be known by others. Only you can define your gender identity.
So it's not just male and female, there are so many in between. You might be non-binary or gender fluid.
For me, gender is a way of understanding yourself and seeing yourself and relating yourself to other people and seeing what your place should be in the world.
Gender, to me, in 3 words, is unique, individual and fluid.
What I would choose to represent my gender is silver holographic foil, the kind that reflects light and refracts it into rainbows when you adjust it with the light. If pink is for a girl and blue is for a boy, then for me it's silver.
I've brought along an egg because what you see on the outside isn't always what you see on the inside, and you may be putting on a layer on the outside.
Society can judge you by the way you present your gender. So they might see you as a male, but you might identify as a female. It's not judged by society, it's about how you feel.
For me, gender isn't what other people see you as. For me, gender isn't 2 set of ideals. It's a spectrum.
Gender has traditionally been seen as a binary system, but perhaps we should think of it as a spectrum with loads of possibilities. For a lot of people, their gender identity and sex line up. This is described as cisgender. But someone who feels their gender identity and sex don't match might describe themselves as transgender, or trans, or non-binary, or gender fluid, or gender questioning.
People are judged so quickly about it, and how the society deems it to be like, if you don't identify as the 2 set genders, you're weird or different.
You pick and choose what bits kind of work for you, a bit like a puzzle, or, and you kind of put in what pieces work for you. And gender comes in all different shapes and sizes. And gender's not one of those things that, you wake up one day and suddenly you've got it all figured out and nailed down and it's sorted for the rest of your life. It's one of those things that it's fluid and it changes over time and that. So maybe, one day you'll wake up and feel a certain way about your gender, and then 6 months down the line you'll feel slightly different.
A lot of things can change from when you were a baby to now. So a lot of people ask me, "Oh, were you born a girl or were you born a boy?" And I says, actually, I was born at £10 too, but a lot of things change.
You might be unsure or questioning your gender, and that's okay. Gender expression is how you present your gender, through your actions and how you dress. It's what you wear, the pronouns you use, he, she, they, the way you act, look or dress. Gender expression is unique and individual. The only thing that limits a person is their imagination.
Some may express their gender through the clothes they wear, through how they act, through their pronouns.
To feel confident expressing your gender, you'd use your clothing, your hairstyle, your pronouns that you use. Everyone uses it a bit differently.
I use the pronoun they, which is the singular they, which is gender neutral. And I chose this pronoun because when people call me by my pronoun, I feel more real. I feel more like they're seeing me for who I am rather than just imprinting stereotypes on me based on what they think I was assigned at birth. They're seeing me for who I am, they're accepting me, they're respecting me, they actually see me the way I see me, and they're not forcing me to see myself and present myself in the way that makes people the most comfortable.
For me, gender is expressed in many different ways, and all of them are okay, however you choose to express it. Expressing my personal gender is like my hat, my silly hat. It's not a conscious kind of expression of gender, but it is a way of expressing gender, and it's a way of expressing me.
I was told I was a boy, but as I have grown up, I've come to know I'm a girl. I call myself a trans girl. In order to match my sex with my gender, I am transitioning, which means I want to change how others know me. Part of my transition is for me to change my name, pronouns, and some of what I wear. It means it is important that you call me she when you talk to and about me. Transition means different things for different people, and not every trans person wants to transition. Some trans people have support from medical professionals, but for the moment I'm happy as I am. I'm a person just like you. I'm a girl who happens to be trans.
So we'll go for some of the worst things first. Some of the worst things I personally have been asked is somebody abruptly who only really knew me for a few minutes went on to ask me what my birth name was and if I'd had the surgery, instead of asking some really polite questions like, "Hi, my name is, what is your name? Do you have any preferred pronouns that you'd like me to use?" Just general human, I'm meeting you questions like, where are you from? What do you do? Do you study? Do you work? They are generally questions that just make you feel a little bit more comfortable in yourself, because we're all human beings and we should all talk to each other like human beings.
Best things to ask is about pronouns, asking people what pronouns they prefer, what name they prefer, asking people what help and support they might need.
Listen to them, use their preferred pronouns. If they've asked you to specifically do something or not do something, then try your best to follow those rules that they've put in place. If you do something wrong, apologise, but don't make a big deal out of it.
I've been asked on more than one occasion, so what have you got down there? And it's like, trousers.
Believe them and accept what they say.
Talk about it, research it, find a friend and have a long, deep conversation over a cup of tea.
You know, you wouldn't go up to somebody who wasn't trans and be like, "Oh, so, I hear that you're not trans. Let's talk about that. Let's discuss this gender issue." You wouldn't do that.
Don't just be scared or sink away into a deep, dark hole of scaredness. Like, go out into the world and find out the information you need.
Figuring out and being recognised for who we are is important. Many people think about or question their gender at some point in their lives. Too often, people who do not fit the stereotypical boy or girl box are ignored, harassed, or bullied. This is often because people don't understand how varied gender can be. Taking the time to learn more about and accept ourselves and others is crucial. It's important to remember we are all different, and that's okay. We all deserve respect, no matter what our gender. This applies to everyone.
Don't hide away if you feel like you're being bullied or there's someone that said something that you're not comfortable with. Go and tell someone that you trust.
You could chat to someone you trust, whether that be a friend, your parents, a teacher at school.
Don't keep it silent, don't stay hidden.
A really good place to go to is the Each Action line, which you can call, and what they'll do is they will direct you to the relevant support networks in your area to really get you the help that you deserve.
You don't have to be trans to talk about trans issues, because actually it's a discussion around gender, and everybody, whether you're trans or not, has a gender, so talk about it.